In this video, we're going to talk about what exactly content consulting is. So, what do we mean by the term? When do you need it? And how can it help you as a company develop better writing talent and produce better content for your customers, your clients, whoever you want to write for? So, a bit more about me. Hi, I'm Alex. I build and optimize in house writing talent and systems for PR agencies and brand and communications teams. And you're saying, hey, that's great, Alex. Thanks so much. What exactly does that mean? Let's dig into that a bit here. So, if you're working in a company right now and you're working with folks who are writing stuff, and these are the kinds of things you're thinking. You're reading stuff and it's like, man, this writing is just not compelling. Everything sounds the same from client to client or person to person. Uh, this is skimming the surface. I'm not really getting the storytelling aspect of it. I'm missing a framework on how to write better. I know my people are struggling, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make it better. These are the kinds of things I hear from folks when they really need to start thinking about content consulting. Some of the common triggers I see around this are your team is growing and you're starting to give more tactical control to the managers and individual contributors on your team. So maybe you started as a head of content or you brought on a head of content if you're a leader. They've been doing great work. They've been writing a lot too of the tactical stuff, but now you're bringing on more clients. Your team is growing. You need some help to actually produce the work. So you're handing things off to maybe more junior talent or folks who are outside that leadership tranche. And it's that moment when you start handing things off where things can go off the rails if you don't have good systems and processes in place to control that. And it usually manifests itself in these kinds of negative externalities. So that's me like clients leaving over low quality work, telling you, hey, this what we're getting is not meeting expectations of what we're paying for. So we need to go find someone else who can meet those expectations. You might have employees who are really frustrated with the process. Maybe they know they need to work on something, they don't know what to do, or maybe they have no idea what to do and they're too scared to ask. But either way, they're starting to feel this overwhelm, this overwork starts kicking in, and it leads them to walking out the door. And maybe you're losing out on new business because you're not offering these fuller services. You're not confident enough in your ability to produce high quality content reliably and at scale. So you don't feel comfortable offering it to clients, and they're choosing to go work with other people because you can't meet the needs of their departments right now. So really between all of this, you need a systematic approach to generate high quality content reliably and at scale. That's the problem we're trying to solve with content consulting. Now, how do we actually do that? Where do we start when it comes to the consulting side? We always kick things off with a content needs benchmark report. So that's going to be working with your team and your leadership in the work you've done already to really understand where the true service gaps lie in your functions. That's working and talking and interviewing with in-house skills and talent, figuring out kind of what's missing, looking from the operational side, what processes are you running now, and how are you structuring this? What's the organizational structure look like? What is leadership doing to support? Really kind of getting that full 360 of where content sits in your organization now. From there, we can produce a real personalized report on the gaps in your processes and systems. So, really understanding where the issues lie so we can start addressing those. Typically, we're going to address those in three different ways. So, the most common options I use are my Boost, Boost Plus, and Build programs. So, each of these fills a different kind of issue or a kind of challenge that you're seeing in your organization. And a lot of what we would choose depends on the size of your company, the size of your current team, the kinds of clients you're working with, what you want to accomplish, so what are your goals at the end of something like this. So as we talk through all of those, initial questions, we really hone in on which of these might fit your program the best and what we want to do. So we'll dive into each of these here in more detail. The Boost program is that shortest engagement, so 2, 3, 4 months or so. Really, the goal of this is to improve your current talents, writing capabilities, and output. So working with what you got already in house to help them create better, high quality content at scale. So we're going to generate that needs report. From there, we'll start figuring out what workshops or training are really going to meet the needs that we uncovered in that report. So I don't want to throw just a bunch of workshops at you. We want those to be tailored to what your people actually need help with. So maybe our report figures out that your folks are really struggling with understanding brand voice and tone for their clients. Maybe they're not very confident in interviewing subject matter experts and they need help understanding how to do that better. Maybe they need help understanding how to deliver feedback more effectively and directly to each other and working with clients on feedback. So we tailor those workshops and those exercises to make sure we're really hitting on the true service gaps we've aligned with what we found in your report. We'd also bring in more personalized support to make sure that the lessons in those workshops and trainings really stick. So it's one thing to actually walk through the workshop, but it's another to make sure we're inculcating those lessons and practicing those time and time again. So that might be, for instance, editing as a service. So maybe we sit down with your teams and edit pieces together. We work through and walk through the challenges, both on the developmental and copy edit side, and then make sure they feel confident being able to deliver that kind of feedback to each other as the process unfolds. So from there, really, at the end of it, we're looking to build very confident, very capable in-house talent to help you produce content for your clients. And sometimes that's enough, right? We say, hey, we figured it out. This is great. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate your work. Sometimes we need to make sure we're supporting people and supporting your clients kind of beyond what we're finding in that initial engagement. So our Boost Plus is more of like a 4 to 9 months. So that's going to be supporting your current team's work with our expert writing capabilities. So we'll white label our long form writing services to work alongside your current team. So they're both learning from workshops and seeing it happen in real time with other people who can deliver that expert capability. So they're getting that experience on multiple fronts to make sure they're very capable and can handle this work on their own. So that long form content is going to be, kind of those byline articles, ghost written for subject matter experts, owned media like company blog post, press releases, other media ops. Could be really intensive stuff like white papers or reports, but really just extending your ability to write this content for clients and making sure that they're feeling confident in your ability as an agency or organization. And typically, we're going to use this as well as a bridge option between that boost side and the build side. Because where the real magic happens, where we really start creating something of value for the long haul, is in our build program. And build's going to run you about 9 to 12 month plus. But this is where we really focus on building out that content production element as a business function. So, what does it take to turn content from something your PR specialists or your account executives are producing and turning it into a real business function in a department that's going to help generate more revenue and increase your margins. So we walk through kind of that same process you saw with Boost. So again, really assessing the needs, optimizing current staff to make sure we're hitting on those true service gaps. And then from there, we're going to build out the real content foundations systems, making sure we're hitting on the SOPs and resources, project management functions, everything you need to start laying that groundwork to turn content into a business function, to hand things off from PR folks who are doing lots of other things to more writing focused talent who can take this and run with it. Then we'll help you from our years of experience working in hiring, help you make that first and then future hires. So walk you through a real tested process, and then help your managers support their performance and growth. So how do you make sure that your first head of content or content manager or editorial director, whatever that title is, how are they feeling supported in your organization and helping you develop something of value that's going to last? And then from there, we'll adjust for those ongoing operations. So make some final tweaks and adjustments to your systems and processes to make sure you're ready to take it on yourself and that you can take this to the next level on your own once my organization steps out of the door. We also still do just the writing portion. So if you just need writing help alone, yes, we have that. Those spots are limited, of course, because we want to focus more on developing agencies and organizations' own abilities to produce this. So this is really about making sure that you feel confident and capable in-house to develop this kind of content on your own and be able to do so reliably and to do so at scale so you can turn it into a real business in revenue generating function for your organization. So that's content consulting in a nutshell and what we do. Let me know of any questions. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and send me an email here. Would love to chat further about your content needs, but hopefully this was helpful in explaining more about what goes on behind the scenes at Alex Sventeckis Content Consulting and how we can help an organization like yours.